All right, state your name and date of birth.
Caitlin Rousseau.
And your name?
Caitlin Rousseau.
Okay. You have two matters. The first one is a failure to appear warrant for one count of possession of narcotic drug, class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, class 5 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 23rd at 8:30, and the judge sets your bond at $500. Now, the second one is another failure to appear. Now, this hang on just a second. Yeah. This alleges one count of possession of narcotic drug, class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, class 6 felony, one count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, class 3 misdemeanor. This allegedly occurred on October 11th, 2023, which was after the first case. Now, you do have a lawyer on this case. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference on July 19th at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing for July 22nd at 8:30. Now, this case happened after you were released on the first case. And since you were out on release when this happened, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 4.2A7A, you must be held non-bailable. But you and your attorney, you get to challenge that, and that's going to happen on that July 22nd date. Okay? All right, get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Israel Coronado, come on in. And then Genesis Sanchez to the chair outside the courtroom. Genesis to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Israel Coronado.
You've got two matters. No, you got one matter. It's a probation violation. You're on probation for a class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated terms 10 and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. You'll get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck. Genesis Sanchez, come on in. Orlando Begay to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Genesis Sanchez. Date of birth is...
Okay, you have two matters. They're both probation violations. You're on probation for a class 3 and a class 4 felony.
Yes.
Probation is alleging you violated terms 6, 7, 11, 15, and 17.
Well,
I've appointed a lawyer on each of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedures 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable on both. Get your, yeah?
I'm going to ask, why is he violating me for what?
Because you are on probation.
Yes, and I did.
And if you violate them and you're likely to get violated on these, you're going to be held non-bailable.
Is it because I didn't provide her an address?
Pardon?
Was it for not providing a physical address?
I can't understand what you're saying.
Was it because I was homeless and I didn't have a physical address? That's why she did it.
I can't understand what you're telling me.
Apparently, because I didn't give her an address. The address that she went to was my mom's.
Well, okay, let me just tell you what they're alleging that you violated, okay? All right. The allegations include you absconded. You didn't report on April the 9th, May the 14th, June the 11th.
Yes,
You didn't receive prior approval before changing your address. You did not actively participate in residential treatment. You didn't pay probation fees. All they have to do is prove one of these.
Yeah, but I was in a mental hospital.
It doesn't matter.
And I tried to get a hold and I was.
Yeah, they haven't had any contact with you
Yeah,
since.
I told my mom, I contacted my mom, I told my mom to tell her. And
Okay, well, you can talk to the next
Okay.
judge, but you have a lot, you haven't paid any fines, haven't done any community service.
I did all that, she told me I don't have to worry about that.
Okay, well, you're still gonna be held non-bailable. Talk to your attorney, all right? Good luck to you. Orlando Begay, come on in. And then Brian Cruz to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Orlando Begay.
You've got a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of aggravated assault, impeding breathing, Class 4 felony. Based on your financial affidavit, I couldn't find that you're indigent. So you can do one of the two things. You can either hire your own attorney or give more information to the next judge about any bills that you have or your finances. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. I've set a $10,000 bond. You cannot return to the alleged scene of the crime and no contact whatsoever with the alleged victim. No email, no texting, no social media, no going through a third party, no contact. Got it? All right, get your paperwork from the court staff. Brian Cruz, come on in. And Addie Keating Zayed to the chair outside the courtroom. All right, sir, state your name and date of birth.
Brian Santa Cruz.
All right, you've got a failure to appear warrant for 2 counts of aggravated DUI while license is suspended or revoked, Class 4 felonies. You have a lawyer that's been appointed for you previously. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. And the judge that you have in your case set your bond at $3,700. All right, get your paperwork from the court staff. Addie Keating, come on in. Pedro Varela to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Addie Rachel Keating-Zade.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drug. I did not find probable cause on that. Let me tell you why. They did not test whatever substance it is. But if they test it and it appears it tests as a dangerous drug, they will file it, okay? And then 1 count of theft of means of transportation, Class 5 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. I've set a $3,600 bond. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Pedro Varela, come on in. And Kendra Sutter to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Hello, Pedro Armengol Varela Jr.
You have a Superior Court arrest warrant for 2 counts of aggravated DUI while license is suspended or revoked, Class 4 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. Set a $2,500 bond. Looks like you have a bunch of cases out of Mesa and Mayer, Arizona as well. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Kendra Suter, come on in. Andrew Cordova to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Kendra Nicole Sutter.
You've got a failure to appear warrant for 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 25th at 8:30, and I've set a $2,500 bond. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Andrew Cordova, come on in. And Archie Lemon to the chair outside the courtroom. Andrew Cordova, come on in. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Andrew Cordova for.
Okay, Okay, you have two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case for one count of criminal trespass in the first degree of a residential structure, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing is going to be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. Set a $900 bond on that. On the second one, you've got a probation violation for your probation that you're on for Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, and 13. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30. And the judge who signed the warrant set your bond at $1,500. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Archie Lemon, come on in, and Marcus Willis to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
My name is Archie Lemon. My date of birth is...
You've got two matters. The first one is a Superior Court arrest warrant. This alleges one count of taking contraband in a correctional facility, Class 2 felony. 2 counts of aggravated DUI while license is suspended or revoked, Class 4 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. The judge who signed this warrant set your bond at $1,000, and then if you post that bond, you'll be on pretrial supervision with alcohol and drug testing. Now, on the second one, you've got a Justice Court warrant out of El Centro Justice Court. This is for one kind of DUI, liquor, drug, or vapors. That's a misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, July 18th at 8:30, and the court there set your bond at $500. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Marcus Willis, come on in. Matthias Hampson to the chair outside the courtroom. All right, state your name and date of birth.
Marcus Willis.
All right, you've got two matters. They're both for failure to appear on your probation violations. You're on probation for Class 4 and a Class 6 felony on one, and then a Class 1 misdemeanor, a Class 4 felony, and a Class 6 felony on the other. You already have court-appointed lawyer on each of these. Your probation officer says that you violated your probation because you got new charges. That's called a Term 1. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30. And I've set your bond at $900 on each. If you post those two bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Matthias Hampson, come on in. Mauricio Garcia to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth. Okay, you have two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class... No, I gotta edit this. This should not be a Class 4 felony. Okay. They just switched the two. Drug paraphernalia is a Class 6 felony, not a Class 4. And the other one is not a misdemeanor, it's a Class 4 felony. So I'm changing both of those to be the right charges. And then can you print that out again, please? All right, alleging one kind of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, one kind of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. I've set your bond at $900. And then on the second matter, which is a probation violation, you're on probation for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated your probation by getting those new charges, a term 1. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you on this. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30, and I've set your bond at $900 on that as well. If you post these 2 bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours, okay? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Mauricio Garcia, come on in. Sarah Hamlin to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Mauricio Garcia.
You've got a probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for Class 4 felony. Probation is alleging you violated terms 6, 7, 15, 17, and 22. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30. Set a $900 bond. Now, if you post that, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay, get your paperwork. Sarah Hamlin.
Over here.
Hamlin, hi. Sarah Hamlin, 4.
All right, you've got 2 matters. They're both probation violations. You're on probation for 2 Class 6 felonies. You already have a court-appointed lawyer on both of these. Probation is alleging you violated terms 6 and 7. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, July 22nd at 8:30. And now you have a bond on each of these of $900. If you post these 2 bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Good luck to you. Joseph Mitchell, come on in. Gary Stoy to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Joseph Mitchell,
Municipal court new case alleging one kind of an assault and one kind of disorderly conduct, both Class 1 misdemeanors. Based on your financial affidavit, I could not find that you're indigent. So either you can hire your own attorney or give more information to the next court. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, July 23rd at 1:30. Set a $900 bond. Now, you cannot return to the alleged scene of the crime and no contact with the alleged victim.
I couldn't get OR.
Now, if you look at the end of your paperwork, it's going to allow you to go to the residence one time while accompanied by law enforcement, and then you can get your personal belongings.
I couldn't get OR for this?
Nope. No, because I see on your criminal history you got 7 failures to appear and 4 felonies.
Was that for driver license?
I don't know, but you failed to appear. You could have a lot higher bond with that. Get
I
your
haven't been in
paperwork.
trouble in like over 10 years.
Yeah, you still have 7 failures to not go to court, so that's a lot. $900
That's like
is
when I
pretty
was
low.
like 16 years old.
No,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
wouldn't show
Okay.
up at 16.
Okay.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Gary Dean Stoy, come on in. Angelica Duarte to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
My name is Gary Dean Soy.
You have a failure to appear bench warrant.
I was locked in Florence at Core Civic at the time of my court date. I was on my way.
You also have another warrant out of Prescott too.
Yeah, that one's been pending because they told me as long as I don't go back, I'm okay.
No,
but
you stood out a warrant there.
Yeah,
So this is for dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Next hearing is going to be a status conference, July 22nd at 8:30. The judge set your bond at $500.
all right.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. Mr. Duarte, come on in. And then Markey Austin to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Angelica Duarte,
Got a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of criminal trespass in the first degree of a residential structure, Class 6 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, July 30th at 8:30, and I am going to release you on your promise to go to court, all right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Don't miss
Appreciate
it.
I won't.
Hear all those people that failed to appear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yep. Marky Austin, come on in. Marky, come on in. All right, sir, state your name and date of birth.
Marky Austin.
You've got two matters. The first one is a Superior Court failure to appear warrant. This is for one kind of burglary in the second degree. That's a Class 3 felony. I could not find, hang on just a second. Who's his financial? Oh, never mind. We've got to print this out again if you could. I'm going to appoint you an attorney to represent you. Wait a minute. Don't print it out yet. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing is going to be on the 27th of July at 8:30 for a status conference. The judge set your bond at $750. Now, did you get some paperwork to read? A plastic card? Yes. Did you read it?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got a warrant here from the state of Nevada. They want you back on charges. You have a choice to make at this time. Choice number one, you can choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing and be sent back to Nevada within 30 days, or choice number two, you can demand an extradition hearing and that a governor's warrant be signed by the governors of both states before they can send you back to Nevada. Now, if you choose to waive your right to an extradition hearing, that's choice number one, you would be held no bond in the Maricopa County Jail. Usually it would be 30 days, but because you've got that burglary charge, it would be 30 days after that burglary charge has been disposed of. If you want to have an extradition hearing, you're gonna be eligible for a bond. I'm gonna set a court date for July 29th at 1:30. Now, I cannot appoint an attorney to represent you because extradition matters are civil in nature, but you would have the right to hire an attorney at your own expense. Now, you would be entitled to bail on this, and it would be $75,000 cash. A governor's warrant signed by the governors of both states requiring to extradite you, that can take up to 90 days. Do you know what you'd like to do?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say you're not going to waive your right because you're going to be able to talk to your other lawyer on the case that's here in Arizona, and maybe they can go through some of this with you. But you're going to be able to change your mind on this anyways on the 29th of July. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So I'm going to say, I'm going to have a bond, and you will have another judge go through this with you, okay? Plus, you're going to be able to talk with your attorney that you have on the other case, okay? Now, they're not appointed on this for you, but a lot of times they will help and kind of explain it to you, okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So you're going to see another judge on this on the 29th, and then on the 9th, or on the other case, the burglary case, you're going to be able to talk to your attorney, and that case is going to be a week before, on the 22nd. So they can explain more to you about what's going on in the Nevada case, okay? All right, good luck to you. They'll bring you.